Hey guys, Deathclaws here. In my opinion, no Fallout settlement is complete without a battle arena. You can assign your settlers, companions, dangerous creatures like Deathclaws, as well as customize and decked out killer robots to this arena and watch them fight it out. Settle old grudges, see who's the strongest or the most worthy, or simply revel in the carnage like the ancient Romans. There's a primal joy you'll get out of building the perfect robot and seeing who reigns supreme, like Doombot here versus Slapbot. Don't be fooled, Slapbot might look harmless, but oh, no, never mind. But I guess this Deathclaw will fare better. Okay, moving on. So it's all relatively simple to set up. The first thing you need to do is build an arena. You want to make it much more beautiful than my one here. I just had to make mine quick and dirty and able to fit on one screen because I made this to live stream. As you can see up on the wall here, we have contestant winners. They would essentially tell me what kind of robot to build. I would build it, and then the other person would tell me what robot to build and I would build it, and then they'd battle it out and the winner would be up on the wall here. So you want to make something slightly bigger than this just because explosions and whatnot will actually destroy everything around it. So you want a nice, clear, big arena. Then what you want to do is you want to create these pads. I'll show you how to do that very soon, but one is red and one is blue. So it will be red team versus blue team. You can put as many as you want and assign as many things as you want, as long as it fits within the build limit. Then red team and blue team, once assigned, will start fighting. Now I have this settler here and Doombot here, both on the red team, just so they stand still. But if I go into the build menu by holding V, I highlight over this settler, you can see it's assigned to this pad here because they're both highlighted in green. If I press enter on her and put her onto the blue team, watch as they immediately start fighting. Now before we continue, don't forget to subscribe if you want to support the channel. I also post quite a bit on Twitter at DanticsOfficial if you want to keep up to date with the huge competitions coming up. Doombot just kills absolutely everything. He is absolute unit. So I didn't expect her to survive. But you can see how it works. So what I'll do is I'll go through how to build all of these. I'll go through how to build these cages and how long to wait and how to set it up so you can get these Deathclaws or other creatures to fight, and how to build all the different unique robots. So let's start with exactly how to get the basics set up, these pads. So hold down V and you'll get the build menu. Now you want to go across to the DLC stuff, and then in the cages you got small cages, medium cages, large cages, like this Deathclaw one here is a large cage, and then you got cages arena. This is for building your battle arenas. You have blue and you have red. Very simple, wood and steel. Just put it down and you're good to go. Like so. So you need a red one and you need a blue one. It's as simple as that. I'm just gonna get rid of that one. So, like I said, you assign things, settlers, creatures, robots, and anything that you can directly command onto one of these pads, and then you do the same for the other color and they will start fighting. So if you don't want them to start fighting immediately, just put them on the same color and then reassign to the other color to watch the action. What I normally do is I normally jump up here, and I've put benches all along here so my settlers will come and sit and watch the action. It's the only real place for them to sit. Therefore, that means that usually they'll come and sit here and watch. And then I have a little ramp here so I can just go enter, assign, and then watch them fight from the top here and get a good view for YouTube. Then, the next thing we have is the cages. With the cages, you need to wait a certain period of time before something is captured. So, with the large cage here with the Deathclaw, let me make another one. There we go. So you place it down, it takes steel, it takes Yagai meat, it takes copper, and it takes a gear. And then what you need to do is, you need to hit spacebar on it and hook it up to the power. It needs to be powered. So make sure you have a nice reactor in your base. I've got multiple nuclear reactors there, so I've got more than enough power, 500 power. And then what you want to make is, in the miscellaneous section, you want to make a beta wave emitter. You can see here I've got one already set up and powered. So because this is set up and powered, as soon as a creature comes out of this cage, it will be under our control. If you don't have that, they'll immediately attack you. However, because they're creatures, they can't be assigned to these pads. So you need to put these cages in a place inside the arena, so as soon as they come out, they'll start fighting whatever is assigned to a pad. So they don't assign to a pad like a normal robot or settler, they just come out. So I reloaded the save, just made some more space here, and waited 48 hours roughly, and the cage has captured something. It'll be a Deathclaw, so what you need to do is just give it a whack, and it'll open up, it'll come out, and it'll immediately start fighting what's assigned to one of those pads. But as you can see, the Doombot is quite overpowered, so makes it very easy for a demonstration here. But you can see how creatures work. So I could put one cage here, I could put another cage there, and they'd start fighting. I could put a robot here, or a settler here, or multiple settlers, multiple robots, and whatever I open will start fighting. If there was nothing to fight on none of these pads, then this creature would just walk around the base looking for someone to fight, looking for a raider or whatever that's going to come and assault the base. So it's on your team as long as the beta wave emitter is hooked up in your base. So the next thing is the robot workbench. So walk up to one and you can see all the robots that you've made. I've got Doombot here. So we go new automaton. It costs rubber, circuitry, ceramics, aluminium, and adhesive to make the base. And then we have all the different options here. We have special mods, which are unique things based on where you're at the story. We have the head, so we can change the different heads here. So let's put on the Assaultron head, for example. And if I do so, I'll have different armor options. So these armor options are all based on what head you have equipped. So let's put on the hydraulic frame, just for an example. The torso is much the same. You can have different torsos. The Sentry one is special though because you can put rocket launchers and the like on their shoulders as well. But I'll give you an example of Mr. Handy. And you can see you can put something on the top. Noxious plate, cruel serrated plate. Just keep an eye out over here. I'll tell you what it does, but it doesn't always give you a good example of how effective it will be. You really just have to try out all these different kind of things, like the armors, different weapons, and so forth. And then we have the arms, which is probably the most important thing. With the arm made, you have different weapon options. So for example, you can put shockers on, you can put claws on, you can put cryojets, which aren't very effective against robots, but very effective against settlers. You can put lasers, hammers, drill bits, nail guns. There is a lot of options. Shish kebab, for example. Let's change the right arm up. Now, once again, depending on what kind of arm you put on will influence what you can exactly do with that arm. What weapons you can put on, what armors you can put on. So I can make it a pirate chef with a hook and a shish kebab as well. And you've got different leg options. One of them is the Misty Handy Thruster, so it can kind of fly around. Or you can put on giant Space Sentry legs, but this does restrict where it can go, how it can move, because it needs a lot of space to move around. You can give it sexy Assaultron legs if you want as well. And then you can change its voice. There's a lot of different voices here as well that will make a sexy processed voice. And then you can change its paint job. I spent quite a bit of time mucking around in the paint job, trying to make my bots look as good as possible. I tried to make a bender bot, for example, which died almost immediately because it had no weapons, but you get the idea. And then once you've made a robot, you can hit rename. And you're good to go. Just press tab, exit, and you've made your bot. You can see there, I hit enter, and then I hit enter again on the red team, and it is now assigned to the red team. So it is ready to fight. All I need to do now is press enter on one of them and press on the blue team pad, any blue team pad, and they will fight. Resources now assigned, and there it goes. Yes. So if you want a fair and balanced fight, you probably don't want to make Doombot here with two of these Tesla cannons. It is quite potent. So that's how you make robots, and that's how you assign them. They can also be assigned to help around your settlement. For example, I've got Chefbot here helping with the mud fruits, and you can have them defending your base. Just them being in your base, in your settlement, will defend it if anyone comes and raids it. So that's all the basics. We also will have a lot of dead bodies around our arena. One way to get rid of them is to either do this, quick and dirty solution, or you can open up console commands by pressing tilde, click on what you want gone, you'll see it's been selected here, then you type disable and it should just disappear. So that will clear up all the corpses around and you should have a nice clean arena. So to recap, you need to build the arena, make it either concrete or steel flooring just so it doesn't get destroyed. You want to make it prettier than what I've got here, maybe a proper Roman Colosseum. You want to put some cages lined up on one side just so when you do open them, they'll be ready to fight. You want to put down your pads. You can either put red or blue, but make sure you put everything that's ready to fight on the same team and then assign them to the other team when you want them to fight. There's other ways of doing it, but I found that's just the cleanest way of doing it. If you want to build robots, you got to build this robot workbench. If you want to build one, you got to go over to the special tab, and then there's robot workbench over here. You can also build iBots as well, but they're not as strong. So if one of your robots has just wandered off, for example, Doombot here, you can get them straight back in the arena by just summoning them to be edited here, and then just exit out, exit the station with tab, and they'll be back in the arena, and then you can assign them and they'll be lined up ready to go. So let's have a quick look at a battle between Lone Wolf here and Chefbot. So once again, assign him by pressing enter to the blue pad, and then they are good to go. So this is a proper battle here, and Chefbot wins. Very simple. Finally, to build all these things, you need a decent amount of charisma. You also need, depending on what kind of automatron you're making, different levels of armor and other skills. So keep that in mind when you are trying to build things. So that's everything. What do you think? Going to give this feature a shot? Let me know below. For everything RPG, you're in the right place. Ciao, friends.